Oof. Okay. Hi guys, welcome into my living room. It is Lynn the cosplayer here, although I am not in cosplay and I'm not talking about cosplay today, so you probably wouldn't know otherwise. Okay, so first off, let's get you guys up to date. 3 weeks ago, I really hurt my back, and I've actually been pretty much immobile and living in my living room here right on my couch, watching the most amount of Halloween and horror movies and TV shows that I've ever watched in my whole life because I have nothing I can go do right now, and that makes me very sad. But in the meantime, while I wait to recover from this, I wanted to come on and talk to you guys about um, some topics that I am very, very passionate about, and I kind of want to get other people's thoughts and opinions on it as well. No, my hair and makeup are not done beyond my braids to keep them out of my face. I do have some false lashes that I put on right here on my couch, so I could feel at least a little more human during these past 3 weeks where I've kind of felt like a zombie. So, um, if you're here to watch a super edited, super amazing YouTube video, this is not it. This is going to be me talking and me discussing. But if you like listening and you have some thoughts about these sort of events we're going to be talking about, this is probably going to be a great video for you. So, guys, let's talk life right now. Life is very, very expensive. I live around the Seattle area, and I can tell you, oh my God, guys, cost of living is so ridiculous. I have people that visit from out of state, and when I tell them how much I pay in rent, their mouths drop open in horror. It's bad. Beyond that, we also have bills and groceries that have gone up significantly in price in the past 5 years, and it just seems like everything is expensive. Like that whole joke of I can't leave my apartment because every time I do, I spend $200. That is so real. That is very, very real right now. Now, living around the Seattle area, we are so privileged that there is always events and things going on. I mean, we have like food events and craft fairs and meetups and raves, dances, nightclub events. We have holiday events. We have like everything. There is no reason to ever be bored in this area because there is always something to do. And especially if you have friends or loved ones who are like extroverts, like they love to go out and just be out doing things, you're probably going to get dragged along to quite a few events. And unfortunately, with that, events cost money. And so not only has cost of living gone up, cost of events have significantly gone up too. A few years back, I had a very honest discussion with my friends where I said, guys, no more going to events that cost a ton of money for absolutely no worth. If I'm going to go out and spend my hard earned money on stuff, I want it to be for something that is fun, entertaining, and is actually worth the money. There are so many places around this area that literally scam people out of money that it's not even funny anymore. I think it's really disrespectful to the average consumer in person. I have been to restaurants that were really hyped up that I ended up spending $50 at, that I got a very mediocre meal after having to wait 2 hours in a line. I don't really think that's acceptable. I have been to events where I had to pay to get in to spend more money at said event, as in something that is advertised as a food or craft fair where you have to pay $20 to get in, but once you're inside, you have to pay more money to try things, pay more money to buy things. And stuff like that, I really think it's a scam. So I have had conversations with people where I've been like, sorry, I'm not going to go to those events anymore because it's not worth my money. I'd rather save my money and then go to something really fun versus spending all these amounts between like $20 and $40 here and there, like all the time, for things that are just like, not really into it. So, you guys have probably seen a lot of these videos trending on social media of events like the Scotland non-trademarked Willy Wonka experience, the lemonade, the jelly beans. Guys, we've all seen it. More recently, the Detroit Bridgerton experience, where people literally got there and were just shocked at how poor it looked, how poor the experience was, what was advertised on the site versus what actually was in real life, and talking about kind of going to events where they're kind of scamming you because they're promising one thing and then delivering a totally different thing. So I've seen all that. And with that, I ended up buying tickets to an event that I have to say was a very big letdown, and I want to talk about that with you guys. So that's why I'm doing today's video. It's going to be a review of this Mystical Creatures Ball that I found tickets to online, I went to, and just my thoughts on the whole experience. The other thing that I really want to get into your guys' head is that I am not doing this to place the blame on anyone, make anyone feel bad, like attack someone or try to get people in trouble. I am doing this because I'm hoping that if the organizers were to see this video, that they would really stop and think and go, wow, is that really what the consumer experienced at our event? And how could we make it better next time so that people aren't let down by this? And I think that's important. I mean, if you're going to produce something or you're going to be a company that puts something on and you want to be proud of those events, you got to listen to the people that are going to them. And if the people have complaints, that is something you probably should address. So let's talk about how I found this event, because they don't just pop up out of nowhere. Well, sometimes they do. I'm a part of a cosplay group online on Facebook where I follow, meetups, and people post and people talk about local events and conventions that are going on. And it's a great way to stay a part of the community while I don't go to conventions all the time. As I get ready for them, it's kind of fun to get hyped up in there and also see when people plan kind of independent meetups and things around this area. And I saw there was a post about an upcoming Mystical Creatures Ball, and it totally caught my eye. The picture was interesting. Just the thought of going to a formal ball, I was very, very interested in. I've been to some dance events that I thought were so much fun, and I've been really interested in going ballroom dancing lately. So, went to this event, read a little bit about it, looked at this company that was hosting it, saw they had hosted events before this, so they were not like a scam company or anything. I saw a few people talking about it. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to do something crazy and I'm going to buy tickets to it. And we're going to go test it out and see how well this event is. So things that were said totally upfront. So price of tickets, a little steep. $109 a person. So between me and my husband, I spent $217 on just tickets alone, like nothing else. The dress code was going to be enforced and you had to be dressed formally, but they also wanted people to really lean into the mystical creatures or mythical animals element. And the other part of this is that the location was not too far away from me, but the venue I actually knew about because I knew someone who had gotten married there and I had seen their wedding pictures inside. So even before I looked at the venue, I knew the name, and in my head a picture appeared and I'm like, oh, this is a very pretty place. It's very like modern, industrial inside, very beautiful lighting. So what a cool place to be able to go and dress formally and ballroom dance in. The other thing is they advertise that there would be appetizers and drinks there. So it wasn't like you're just going dancing. It's like an actual small event that you're going to. And it was going to be held from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. So it was like a nighttime event. So after I bought tickets, I started working on getting some outfits together because I don't own a ball gown. So I had to go online, find a ball gown. I decided to go with a unicorn theme because I dressed up as Lady Amalthea from The Last Unicorn a few years back. And I still had the unicorn horn. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna buy a lavender dress so I can reuse the horn. And with that, I decided my husband could go in a tuxedo that was also kind of like more interesting color than the gray and black he has. So I ended up buying him kind of just a cheap tuxedo that was in this very beautiful like dark burgundy color. And then he borrowed one of my foxtails and some fox ears, and he went as pretty much like a kitsune gumiho, like a fox deity spirit. So here I am the unicorn, he's the fox, and we're like the woodland creature group. It's great. I will also say that if you are someone who can sew or alter clothing, it is amazing because buying a cheap tuxedo, I was able to just fit it to him and alter it. Ended up looking great. Okay, let's readjust here so I can get to the good part of the story where we are going to talk about my experience actually like going to the event and everything that happened, because I'm sure that's why you guys are watching this and wondering. So closer to the event, they released some details that I was like, wow, I kind of wish I had known about this before I purchased $110 tickets. And that was that The bar that was going to be inside, so cocktails and alcohol, were actually going to be a cash bar and they were not included in our ticket price, which I was like, wait, so what am I paying for exactly? Am I just paying for going to a venue and there being water and coffee and appetizers? Because that's a really steep ticket price for not including alcohol. So I was a little like confused at that and also a little irritated. But I'd already bought tickets, I'd already committed. I can't turn around and reverse it. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to be spending more money after all. So not only, the $217 ticket prices, the cost of getting the outfits, but now cost of alcohol that night too. And the other thing that I noticed before we got to the event is that there were not a lot of comments on any of the posts, although the organizers and production people were posting pretty frequently on their Facebook group. So once you buy a ticket and then you say, like, yeah, I'm attending this group, this event, as they post, you get updates. So they would talk about, remember to do this, or like, what's everyone going as, or costume ideas for the event, just stuff like that. And there just really wasn't a lot of activity going on their page, which for a larger event is kind of concerning. So let's talk about the night we went and everything that happened now that we're 11 minutes into this video. So, you guys, driving anywhere south near Seattle on a Friday, Saturday night, this was a Friday night, but traffic, oh my God, it is very, very bad. And we always account now for taking at least an hour to get anywhere. So, like, we had set aside an hour. We knew it was going to take us a while to get down there. And the worst thing was, like, it took us so long to get dressed because I knew that my dress had a train on it and I tried to trim it off before going to this event. I did not have the time to have to alter my dress like fully, like with my sewing machine. So I just literally cut off tulle in the back and called it good. But the night of the event, I stood up in it and went, oh my God, I did not cut enough off. There is still like a baby train going on in the back. And so my roommate's there. She's helping me like try to cut off all of this material. And, we're just kind of running a little late. But I figured it's an event. Like, it doesn't even really get started and going until like an hour in anyways. So we got there about 40 minutes late. And as we got there and we were doing street parking, I was like, this area that we're in is not a great area. It is actually known for crime. And that made me really nervous to be street parking at night at, 8:40 p.m., knowing I was going to be coming back to my car at like midnight or after. But I tried not to think about it because I'm in a huge ball dress. I'm trying more to like concentrate on not tripping over the dress or falling on my face. But that was something that I was little concerned about with maybe the people who booked the venue. I wasn't sure how familiar with the area they were either. Now, as we walked in, we got our tickets, our little QR code scanned, and we got, I think it was like wristbands or something. But as we walked in, the first thing I noticed is that there were very, very minimal people inside this very large venue. And that always worries me when I walk into an event that is advertised as very large with lots of tickets. And then, they're saying, oh, there's minimal tickets left. Hurry and get your tickets. We're almost sold out. When you get to the event and you're like, there's like 20 people here right now. That is a little concerning. But I thought, you know what? Maybe more people will show up halfway through. Maybe people are late like us because of traffic. Who knows? So the first thing that we decided to go do was we went over to the bar that was on the first floor and we decided, let's go get a drink, kind of loosen up, like get, people watch for a little bit. And when we got to the bar, they had two bartenders, I think, at the downstairs bar and two bartenders at the upstairs bar. And with that being said, we get to the bar and we're like, hey, can we have a martini and an old fashioned, which are just very, very classic bar drinks like every bar can make. And the bartender is like, hey, sorry, I actually can't make those. I don't have the supplies. We're like, what? This was advertised as being a full cash bar event. So we're like, oh, okay, well, what do you have? And he was like, well, we have the specials tonight, which were vampire kisses and mermaid tears. And we were looking at the board. We weren't super interested in it, but we just got there. There's kind of a small line and we're like, you know what, screw it. We'll just have the specials to start. So we pay I think they were like $14 each. So $14 cocktails, oh, expensive. This is like usually a price you would pay in a very nice bar in Seattle, not in a tiny venue that you've already paid to get into. But we pay and we go sit down. We actually went up to the loft and sat in bar stools so we could kind of overlook the main floor and see as people would walk in. Um, the drinks, guys, they were not good. They were not good drinks. And I have a very uh, low taste requirement for most of my drinks. I am not super picky, but I was very much not impressed and very pissed off after, paying $28 after tip for these drinks. Um, the Vampire Kisses was I think, vodka based drink that had an infused beet juice in it, so it made it red. But when you went to drink it, this was not like a hint of beet juice. It tasted like you were drinking beet juice with some alcohol in it that was sweetened. And my poor husband does not really like beets, and this was, of course, the one he got. And yeah, not very happy about that. And then the Mermaid Kisses one was a lemonade based drink that had gin in it and lavender infused lemonade. And honestly, there was hardly any alcohol in mine, and I am a super lightweight. I am the person that usually drinks one drink and I'm like, good. But I got through this entire drink and I was just like, I'm pretty sure this is just mostly lemonade, and it doesn't taste super special. It tastes like lemonade with a tiny drop of lavender in it. I'm really not impressed here. So not great start to the event. Now the event itself, I have to say, the costumes people wore were really amazing. We spent most of our time people watching and pointing out certain costumes and trying to guess what people were. There was like dragons, there was like mythical creatures. It looked like people had dressed up from like the fairy court books that are going around. It looked like someone had a group of friends dressed as all the characters from it, like Fae and just characters like that. There was like demons and vampires and everything you could possibly think of. And it was really great to see people like passionately trying to fit into this element and like have fun with it. So I have to say the people that were there at this event really made the event so much better. I really appreciate people's determination and creativity. The food, let's talk about food next. So as I told you guys, it was advertised that there was going to be appetizers and like a dessert or something being served. And when we got there, there was one small corner of this venue that had appetizers and everything out on like two tables. But guys, this is supposed to be a very large event, and as more and more people showed up, I was thinking this is probably not enough food and desserts for the amount of people that are supposed to be here. And it was also strange to have the food in just one single corner that was also in front of a doorway that was also in front of the bar. So if people lined up to get food, they would be either blocking the bar, blocking the door, or standing in the middle of the dance floor, which is not good. Usually with catering, you don't set up in one spot. You usually have like multi-mini stations so that you don't get too many people in one area. I don't know who instructed them to do it this way. Who knows? Could have just been catering did it this way and they didn't get a say. So I don't want to put this totally on production. But as I went over to the food, I also was not very impressed with the food either. They had mini baked goods like croissants and cookies and brownies, and I think they had some vegetables and stuff like that, but it was nothing impressive. It was nothing amazing. I did fill a small plate up because I was like, dude, I paid for this ticket. I want my money's worth. Like, even if I don't like the drinks and I don't like the food, I want to experience it because I want to get my money's worth. We never had any of the non-alcoholic drinks that were free. There was, I think, lemonade, water, and they advertised coffee, but we never saw a coffee bar anywhere in there. So I don't think that was actually there. The other thing that they had advertised is that there was a pizza place that was just right around the corner from them that was offering a discount that night if we went after. So we thought, like, even if we don't eat a lot, we'll just go get pizza afterwards. It's fine. Now, the performers were really amazing, and they had hired this trio of performers that did aerial arts. So think ribbons, hoops, fans, things like that. Their costumes were amazing. They had these beautiful, like full-length nude bodysuits on with like crystals all over them. And the way that they moved on the hoops and ribbons were incredible. They had like a a little setup going on where they were actually up in the air doing it. And then they had a few of them walking around. They would walk like up and down the stairs to the loft. They would walk around the dance floor, and they were so cool to see. So the performers themselves were amazing. I would totally go see them again. I just felt bad because the event they were at was not the best, and they deserve probably a better event to go to. Now, the one thing I have to say, I have no clue what the organizers were thinking. The music. Okay, so first off, this was advertised as a mystical creatures ball. If you use the word ball, people are going to assume formal, tuxedo, ball gown, ballroom dancing, slow dancing, or formal dancing of some sort. There was not a single formal, ballroom, slow dance, or even like Bridgerton style string music at all played that night. Not once, not ever. There was a DJ that was there that was playing music live, and I was completely shocked that when we walked in, they were playing 80s music. And I've been to some events before where they'll start kind of with more upbeat, energetic music, and then they'll move on to like doing the actual themed music once people are warmed up, they have a drink in them, like they're feeling good, they're feeling like they want to do some ballroom dancing. But no, the entire night they played 80s music, and then they moved on to club rap music. So it was all hip hop and R&B, and everyone is in formal ball gowns and skirts and really nice outfits with partners there to dance with them. So as you can imagine, we're trying to make the best of a situation. Me and my husband did dance quite a bit, but because there wasn't anything else to do, and I don't know, it was just such a weird thing. I don't know how that got missed in translation. It felt like being at a high school dance. That's what it felt like. Like the music was there so that you would grind on your partner and jump around and dance. It was not there so you could actually have fun and like slow dance. They didn't even incorporate different types of music. It was literally R&B and hip hop. Very, very weird. And I was really pissed off at this point because I was like, oh my God, okay, drinks were not great, food was not great, and now there is absolutely no ballroom dancing. Why did I even bother to buy and wear a ball gown? So yeah, really, really not happy about that. So we ended up leaving an hour early from this event. So guys, we got there 40 minutes late, and this was only a 4-hour event. So we stayed for essentially like 2 hours and 20 minutes before we were like, we're done, let's get out of here. So we walk down the street to the pizza place and we order a pizza, and they're doing karaoke in the bar, which is kind of fun. So we sit around and watch for a while. I got a drink at the bar there since they actually had an actual bar. And the funniest thing is, as we're driving home, I looked at the receipt for our pizza and we didn't even get the freaking discount. So obviously this entire production, this entire thing was clearly organized very poorly, and I was very, very confused. So my overall rating for how this ball went was 3 out of 10. It was a poop event. I feel bad saying that, but it really was. And I hope if other people went, they at least went with friends or a loved one that they had fun and could like poke fun at it later, because that's kind of like the only thing. I noticed so many people showed up and then left after like an hour because clearly this was not the event that was advertised. And the weirdest thing is that with independent events like this, they do not leave a ton of contact information. They don't want to hear your thoughts. They don't want to hear your opinion. They're going to put on an event, they're going to make money from you, and then they're going to keep going on putting on events and making money. So by forcing doing this review and talking about this experience, I'm hoping it forces to keep more production companies accountable, or people who are putting on these events. But even more, I want people to stop and think, are they actually qualified to put on the sort of event at the size that they want to put on? And I've talked about this in previous videos where I did reviews of SoccerCon, where I said, guys, this is not a tiny independent convention. This is a massive, huge scale event. Those are very, very different events to put on. You have to have massive teams and boards and committees to actually make things like this happen in a safe, enjoyable way for the consumers going. Now, this event tonight was not hosted as super huge, but it was supposed to be, around 100, 150 people, maybe more, maybe 200, I'm not sure. But I can tell you, not that many people showed up. And with the amount of people who left early, I'm going to say they did not get the experience they wanted either. So, yeah, that is my review of how this ball went and why I think we need to talk more about these small events not giving what they claimed they were providing. $110 to dance for 2 hours to hip hop music while I had to pay for a drink at a bar. I could have gone to a nightclub. And that was actually mine, my husband's joke afterwards is next time we should just go out to Trinity, or we should just go out to Volume, or we should just go out to Capitol Hill, because at least the drinks would be better. And at least it would not cost that much cover charge to get in. So, anyways, what do you guys think? Does this seem like a fair evaluation? Have you been to an event yourself that you were like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I just got scammed? And what do you think we should do to keep, these people, these companies, entertainment services accountable for what they're actually providing for us? Anyways, I guess I'll see you guys again. So have fun in spooky season. I'll be back for more cosplay stuff hopefully soon. And I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Bye.